Arrival of Anunnaki. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to discuss about Anunnaki in brief. The Earth was never alone, not even today, with life on it. Millions of masses are bigger and smaller than Earth, older and younger, moving around in their own regions, possibly carrying their own host lives. How can we set ourselves as the standard of the form of life? Life can exist in any form. Within the Earth itself, organisms behave utterly differently from each other. Not all breathe through the lungs, and not all lay eggs. If the variation of life can be seen on Earth, where the Earth provides the same atmosphere, land, and water to all, we ought to accept that life can happen anywhere in the universe. When we imagine the existence of life, we always revolve around our necessities to be alive, such as water, oxygen, sunlight, food, and so on. These are the parameters of life on Earth. Considering those parameters must be broadened when looking for life outside the Earth. On the other hand, it could be possible that humans were created by some highly civilized beings that came from other planets and could sustain the environment of the ancient Earth just like most of them are extinct now, species of the Earth. Anunnaki, Anu and his people from Nibiru, are not related to mythological gods. They are very similar to modern-day humans in appearance. They visited Earth approximately 450,000 years ago when there were no Homo sapiens or modern humans. They came down here for the gold mining. It is believed that they came from the planet Nibiru, also known as Planet X, and are further away from Neptune and Pluto. Austin Henry, a famous excavator, found some ancient clay in Iraq in 1850. The exact location of excavation is in the Iraqi town Mosul today. Those tablets were deciphered by a linguistic scholar Zechariah Sitchin, who was a master of many Middle Eastern languages, Sumerian, Hebrew, and Aramaic, Mamun, 2016. Sitchin's translation says that the tablets refer to Anunnaki as God who created modern humans to assist them in gold mining and later started living with them. Anunnaki, with his working force, first visited Zimbabwe to mine gold approximately 450,000 years ago. Recent research in the same area has confirmed that there was an extensive scale of gold mining at least 100,000 years ago. The gold from there was then shipped back to Nibiru. They had their labor force brought from home to work in gold mining. Since it was too much for them to travel back and forth for the gold with so many numbers of workers, Anu, who was considered the leader or the highest privileged person of their kind, thought of making some workers by mixing the DNA of the apes that walked Earth during that time with the DNA of their own. Enki and 90 were the teams who contributed the most to creating the Homo sapiens. Their job was to create many prototypes of human forms until they found the perfect genetic combination to create the desired working-class species. These experiments resulted in many defective humanoid creatures, such as human animals. The king, Anu, had two sons who were genetic scientists. After finding the perfect genetic combination, the project was handed over to two brothers, Enki and Enlil. They created a new species that stood upright, strong, and wise. Later these two step-brothers turned into rivals. Both wanted to have complete control over the Earth. This rivalry and struggle for power turned into wars several times. The agitation continued the next generation. Their offspring were also involved in the battle. They had a destructive war near the south part of today's Dead Sea, and a recent discovery has confirmed that the radiation pattern of that area is far higher than normal, hinting that there was a nuclear explosion, Mamun, 2016. Those Sumerian clay tablets also talk about the story of the Great Flood. According to the original translation of the tablets, Anunnaki flees to the planet Nibiru with his people in flying craft when the mass destruction happens with a great flood. Geographical evidence we see worldwide suggests a devastating flood sometime between 11,000 BC and 4,000 BC. Humans were half apes and half Nibiru's being, but their appearance was thought to be very similar to Nibiru's being. It is also believed that Anunnaki possibly had interbred with that new species they created to give birth to a more adaptive race that can live and rule the planet without biological issues. They wanted a solid and intelligent race to control and rule the Earth. One of the Sumerian tablets, 4,500 to 5,000 years old, has an image of our solar system and the people shown there like humans. But before that period, the cultures such as Ubad of the same area depicted the gods in reptilian humanoid form. The depiction of gods in the same area has quickly changed from reptilian humanoid to human form. Researchers have no clue about that. As tablets suggest, there was a numerous trial on making the working class humane, the outcome of which was many human-animal creatures. Reptilian humanoid could be one of them. The Ubad culture might have encountered them, and reptilians were probably far brighter and more robust and were believed to have shape-shifting abilities. Because of those abilities, the Ubad culture might have revered them as gods. Scientifically speaking, on the creation of humans from genetic experiments, humans emerged on Earth as Homo sapiens not before 35,000 years, but the brain size humans carry has massively improved compared to their close ancestors such as apes. Biologists believe that this kind of improvement in brain size cannot happen in such a short interval of time. It requires at least millions of years for an ape to have the brain of a human if we speak based on evolution. And the updates in the human's brain complexity have been happening throughout time. If we imagine the lifestyle of humans 10,000 years ago and compare it with 100 years ago, we find there were many changes. But if we compare the lifestyle of humans from just 50 years ago and now, we will be more surprised. This change is more apparent than the changes that happened in 35,000 years in the human lifestyle. Mamoon, 2016. Does it not seem like the brain of humans have been updated? If we assume that there was no intervention of foreign intelligence in human civilization, how can we explain the knowledge that humans possess about the stars and planets, navigation via reading the position of stars, knowledge of herbal medicine, yoga, etc. Would uncivilized humans, busy hunting and fighting for the territory just like other animals, have time to study the stars and drugs? What happened between 1500 AD to 2000 AD that improvised and updated the human brain? Think about it and let me know about it in the comment box. This is all for today. For more detail, read my book, Wake Up. They control us from other dimensions. Do not forget to subscribe Quantum Awareness.